I wish I had a light. That's why I don't actually show too many videos here. But I have my bus bar here, if you guys can see it. That's my red, and then I got my black in here. And then as you go along, you can see more and more wiring. And the reason why I do not a lot of times go in here and show video, because you can't tell which wires are power from camera and which ones are network. But the yellow wires are network, the red wires are power, the black wires are power, and then the green is Outback's cable. Now I have my FlexMax 80 disconnected currently, or unmounted from the wall currently, because I wanted to get around wiring up the wind turbine generator that I'm hooking up, and I'm making room for my Classic when it gets here. I have a box that I've basically made specifically for my FlexNet DC. Everything negative goes into this box, and then it has two cables that pop in for red, for all of my positive feeds going to the inverter, which is at the top. I do have another box here that controls basically all of my AC side loads, and then I have a little voltmeter that I just put in. Hold on 1 second, buddy. Alright, so right here you can see currently the house draw. I just put this meter in, and I don't have a box made for it yet, but anyway, it's a current draw. It's about 512. Since I've put this meter in, which is a couple days, maybe a week ago, we've used 94 kilowatt hours. I think that's pretty neat. If I was keeping a chart of this, I'd basically be able to tell you how much power I'm using each day. Outback does a real good job with the FlexNet DC and monitoring that for me, but it's also nice to be able to compare that and align that with what I've used. KVUSMC recommends you use like a digital rotary meter, and I like that as well. But for my budget, that worked out. I think it's like 20 times more just to get the other one. Not saying it's, not needed, but I like this one a little bit better. And then that brings you over to our Outback mate. I usually check over here, or my kids usually check over here as they get up and get going through their day. You can see we don't have any power coming in from the line. I actually have that hooked up to a generator in the shed, and it never turns on, except for when I'm doing equalizing once a month, or if I have a week of bad power generation. So we got 82% currently. And this is overnight, of course. We're drawing 3 amps. We charge at 59.2 based off of the batteries that I have. Let's see here. Solar production, we got 120 coming in on one, 140 coming in on the other one. It's real early in the morning, so nothing's there, but you see 91.8 volts is the state of charge, or VLC, I'm sorry. 78 volts on the other one. It's the state of VLC there. And then here you have maximum power brought in, 400 watts, 580 watts. The port 6 is my bigger array. Port 2 is my smaller array, but they have monocrystallines on there, and they tend to give me a little bit more power early in the morning. And currently it is 79 degrees. That date is completely wrong, but it's 79 degrees. And let's go ahead and pop this piece in and let you guys see how I do. Okay. All right. So nothing tricky here. I don't go outside and crank up a generator. Just turn this dial, and voila. Okay. So it's got a convection fan in there, so that's what you're hearing stir up. I gotta take this plastic off of here. All right. So how I have it wired up, I have a I guess you'd say a surge protector plugged in. It's rated for 1800 watts, and all of my high output devices are plugged in there, so that if I have 2 devices on at the same time, it'll trip. Keeps my inverter protected, but it also keeps that outlet protected from overheating. Okay. When I'm done with this bar, each one will be fused into their own box that I'm making underneath this bar. But it'll have its own sub panel, and it'll control it through one breaker. But basically, it just keeps my kids from popping popcorn, doing toast, and me running the toaster at the same time on the crock pot. I don't want to put that load on my inverter, and I definitely don't want any issues of us going to sleep and not realizing something is on or something goes whack. It just protects all of my devices. So anyway, while that's going, you guys can see my Keurig is plugged in directly to the wall, and then my blender, it plugs in when we need it. Taking you back over to the inverter. Says we're doing 1.8 kilowatt hours, and I found that to be in EC terms. When you look at the inverter based off of the shunts, it's actually pulling about 2,200 watts and bringing in 230. That's making me net 43 amps loss out of the battery bank currently. Taking over on this side, you can kind of see where this new meter plays in. With this jumping down to, they're saying it's 1,972 watts. 1,970 watts. Basically, you can see there's an inefficiency. It's 2,200 and this is 1969. So losing about 200 watts, 200 and some change in watts. So that's just due to the fact that the inverter's a little inefficient with changing it, but it's very efficient. It's just losing that, obviously. And that's running my inverter. You don't even hear the fan. That thing is so smooth. It's great. I typically try to run the toasters and the Keurigs. Those are short burst power things in the morning. With me running a pizza before the sun's out, that's an abnormality because that's my lowest point in state of charge. So you can see that the voltage is dropping a little bit below 48 volts, but that's under a critical, very critical load at this point. We're drawing about 43 amps out of a battery bank that's already been dropped down 50 amp hours at 48 volts, so about 2.5 kilowatts already, right? The idea with this oven is basically it will turn on, get to, what temperature is it set at? 425 degrees, and then it'll turn off, and then it'll turn back on. Oh wow, I got that timer set too high. I only got one pizza. I'm used to putting two in there. But basically, at one pizza, it'll take half the time. But anyway, it'll get up to the temperature that you set it at. It'll set it at the temperature that you have it set at, and then it will turn itself off. Now, because it's a big oven, it takes a while for it to get there. With this one, though, I can cut the pizza in half and pop it in there, but I didn't want to do that. It's made for 9-inch pizzas. But anyway, you put pizzas in there, it gets to temperature fast, and then it turns itself off, and then it turns itself back on when it notices that the temperature drops like 10 degrees. So something to consider if you guys are going off grid and thinking about your appliance purchases. Just make sure you get the highest efficiency. But I wouldn't buy like a full electric stove. I'd get a gas stove and then get your own appliances to do your small baking. Most people don't bake anyway. We make cookies all the time. We make breakfast all the time, but wow, you know. Okay. I think you guys had enough of watching this. I'm about to make some orange juice and then get my son some things. I just wanted to show you what life was like on the homestead for us. Let me give you one glimpse of what kind of weather we got outside. That's what we're looking at outside. Cloudy. I'm building that thing that's a kite currently. Wow. Glad to catch that. Let's see if I can see the wind on my turbine. And not even moving the turbine. It's under a 24 volt load right now. But that's the wind we're getting on the kite I made last night. Still finishing that up. I'm doing a little video set of that with some other things that I'm doing. Anyway, that's what you guys are seeing. That's what we're doing. And thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, put them on the bottom of the page. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Give me your comments. I appreciate all of the feedback that you guys give me. But anyway, thank you for your time. Have a great day.